Hey guys, it's Stacy. Welcome back to my channel. So on a recent video that I posted, somebody suggested that maybe I tell you guys a little bit more about myself and kind of some of my favorites from Supernatural, kind of how I got involved in the fandom and why I love the show so much. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. First, just a little bit about me. My name is Stacy, but my nickname is Poe for a lot of people, which is where the title of my channel comes from, The Poe Show. I am 25 years old and I am a born and raised Floridian. Outside of Supernatural, some of my other passions, I love animals, especially horses, and I have a big passion for riding and showing horses. I actually do have another channel called Bridle Pass, which is my original channel on YouTube. So if you by any means are interested in horses as well as Supernatural like me, I will link that channel down below. And actually my horse Annie just had a baby earlier this spring, so if you want to go see him, his name is Marty, named after Marty McFly from Back to the Future, which is my favorite movie. You can see some footage of him in my other channel and I will link that down below. As far as how I started watching Supernatural, it is a show that one of my older sisters recommended, and it was on Netflix at the time. It still is on Netflix, and I just started watching it and it kind of just went from there, and I just got hooked on it and I watched it and watched it and watched it. I got caught up to what was then current, which was season 11. I started watching it in January of 2016, so that's when I started watching Supernatural, and I was caught up by March of 2016. So I watched a lot of Supernatural. I had just graduated from college, so I had quite a bit of time on my hands. The content starting now, if you are not caught up on Supernatural, you might not want to watch it because it will not be spoiler free. As far as my favorite character goes, Dean is my absolute favorite. I just love Dean so much. I know some people say, are you a Dean girl or a Sam girl? I am 100% a Dean girl. I know some people can't even say they're just a Winchester girl. And I loved Sam too, but I am definitely Team Dean when it comes down to it. My favorite seasons of Supernatural would have to be season 5 if I had to pick one. But a close runner-up for me is actually season 10. I think season 5 is just where it all comes together. Everything that's happened in seasons 1 through 4 is all weaved together. Oh my gosh. My horse is right outside my window. You guys have to see this. Hey, Marty. That's Marty, you guys. Hi, baby boy. So, where was I? Okay, season 5 I think is where everything comes together. Everything in the past seasons comes to a close at the end of season 5, and I just love that season. Season 10 I think was really, really good. Like the stuff with the Mark of Cain I think was really, really strong. I loved that stuff, especially probably because it centered a lot around Dean, and I love Dean. He's my favorite character. So season 10 is a close second for me. Least favorite seasons I would have to say are season 7 and season 11. I just think that the villains weren't super strong in my opinion. I don't think Dick Roman was, I just think that whole storyline with the Leviathan just didn't do that much for me. Although I will say that every season, like, don't get me wrong, have standout episodes that are phenomenal. As far as season 11 goes, I just didn't think the stuff with Amara was that good, and I love the biblical storylines, and I know we got to finally discover that Chuck was God, but maybe all of that was maybe a little anticlimactic for me. I'm not sure. My all-time favorite episode, if I had to pick one, is Swan Song, the very last episode of season 5. I like almost cry my eyes out every time I watch it. I think it is just so phenomenally done. I also love Mystery Spot. Who doesn't love Mystery Spot? Heat of the moment, Dean dies in a different way every day, which sounds horrible, but is actually a super funny episode. I actually think that's the only episode that takes place in Florida. I think it's supposed to be in Broward County, which is like down south. The most underrated episode, in my opinion, would have to be the episode called Roadkill, which is season 2, episode 16. That's the episode where that woman, she doesn't know that she's dead, and of course we don't know that until the very end of the episode, that she's a ghost and she's like reliving the night she dies every night, until at the end you finally see that her husband has like remarried and has started a family years after she has died. I really, really like that episode. I think it's a really, really great story, and I wasn't expecting at the end for her to be a ghost and not just a real living person. My least favorite episode is the episode called Remember the Titans, which is season 8, episode 16. Okay, so I can watch Supernatural over and over again, but I hate watching that episode again. I think I've probably only seen it twice because I just don't like watching it. I don't think the story's that good. I think there's just something about it that just doesn't really speak to me. My favorite moment, not necessarily my favorite episode, but my favorite moment would have to be in Point of No Return, which is season 5, episode 18. It's the moment where Dean is locked in that room with Zachariah, and Sam is in there at that point too, and Zachariah's trying to get him to say yes to Michael, and he's like torturing Sam as he's doing it, And like it's just like this pivotal moment because it can either go one way or the other. Either he's gonna say yes or he's gonna say no, and you don't know which one it is. And then suddenly like Dean looks over at Sam and he like gives him a little smile and a wink, and then you know that he like has Zachariah somehow and that he's going to say no, and then he shoves the blade through Zachariah's face, and it's just like, yes, like I love that episode. I love to be surprised and like be on the edge of my seat when I watch a TV show or a movie, and that did it for me. My favorite villain, speaking of season 5, is actually Zachariah. I don't know if, I mean, I know he's not like the big bad of any season, but I think that that character is so hateable, if that's even a word. I don't think it is. He kind of reminds me of an Umbridge. Like, you just absolutely despise him. And I actually have a quote here from him that I think just wraps up his character and why I think he's such a good villain. The last person in the history of creation you want as your enemy is me, and I'll tell you why. Lucifer may be strong, but I'm petty. And I just think that is such good writing for a bad person, because it's not just like simple good versus evil. He's saying that he's petty. By him saying he's petty, I think that's more than just necessarily good versus bad, and I just really, really liked that villain. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad he's gone and that he's dead, but I really, really enjoyed that character. As far as other ways I'm involved in the fandom, obviously I do enjoy going to conventions. I've been to 2 now. I have a 3rd one at the end of this year. I really enjoy connecting with people on social media. That's probably the first way I got involved with the fandom once I was caught up with the show. Just being able to go on Twitter and like live tweet and live read other people's tweets as new episodes were airing. I really enjoy that, and it was kind of my first way of connecting with the SPN family. I also really, really enjoy and support Jared's Always Keep Fighting campaign. I'm so glad that I get to be a part of it. I missed a few of the first campaigns just because I wasn't a fan yet, but ever since then I have been buying the shirts and the merchandise, not only because I think they're really pretty designs, but also I really, really support what it stands for. And for me, it's just about being mentally aware and recognizing your mental health and how important it is. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video, learning a little bit more about me, how I got involved with the fandom, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!